So I actually am so excited to do this live because I remember, and actually when I say I remember, I still feel like I'm piecing this stuff together because I struggled and it was an actual conscious thought. When so many people talk about authenticity, and for the longest time, it just kind of it really the word just was like, oh yeah, authentic. And I came from an art background, right? I was an art auctioneer, for those of you who don't know. So authentic to me meant, is the art authentic? Meaning, is it real or is it fake? So or like a certificate of authenticity. So for me, sorry, there's this little icon jumping down at the bottom of my screen. It's distracting, and I really want to, oh, it's my little iTunes thing. So yeah, that's what authenticity meant to me until I had kids or a baby boy, and I started to kind of, feel all of these things that happen when you have a baby. And if you're a guy watching this, it's not just women who get these feelings. Men also feel a tremendous amount of emotion when they have their kids. If you have had kids, you know this. So I finally, that word authenticity, authentic, finally became a very conscious thought for me, but it was so stressful. Like, I was legit having anxiety about the fact, like, I recognized it was not being authentic. And that is a pretty hard wall to come up against. And I love that I'm sharing this with you because I'm feeling a tiny bit emotional around it, because it actually means so much to me that I finally found this authentic person inside of myself. So I want to go back to the struggle of it for a second, because it was really real for me. I was part of this group, this fitness group, with all these amazing women who showed up every day, from what I could tell, super authentic, standing in their bras and underwear, 60, 70, 80, 100 pounds, some of them overweight, and going, I'm doing it, I'm doing this. And every week they'd be down 5, or they would be down 10 or whatever. And I was a part of this group as well, but I was showing up in this group, super vivacious and effervescent and bubbly. And when the truth was, I was struggling, and I wouldn't call it postpartum depression. Maybe it was a tiny bit of that, but I don't think it was postpartum. I truly think it was this ginormous struggle with who the frick I was. And I was just desperate to find my real self. And the thing that was causing all this angst inside of me is, okay, I'm here. I'm ready. Like, I want to find my authentic self. Who is that? Like, who am I? What does that mean? And it's not even who am I, because I am who I am, But the point is who was I showing up as every single day? And it didn't feel connected. And I truly believe today that I sit in front of you on these lives 100% truly authentic, and what a freaking relief it is. What a relief, and what a stress off my heart. Wow, I didn't know. All I knew is that I wanted to talk about authenticity. I had no idea this is how I felt about it. So that's why I love learning while I launch my authenticity, learning while I launch my business, learning while I launch this Moms on a Mission series. My heart is so open, you guys. And I finally figured out how to access your authenticity. And I wish so bad, and I don't know, maybe I wouldn't have heard the person tell me this anyway, because maybe somebody did tell me this, because I did a lot of research. How do you be authentic? And I heard Kid Carson in Vancouver. I don't know if you're from Canada. There's a radio announcer called Kid Carson. And he said one day, you choose, and I think he was quoting Oprah. I don't know. Somebody else said it before him, and he was quoting them, and they were talking about authenticity on this show. And this was years ago, you guys. So this is how pertinent this information was, that I learned this in my life. That Kid Carson said, authenticity is something that you choose every day. And I'm like, okay, I choose to be authentic. Like, what does that mean? I wanted him to tell me more. And it triggered me, actually, because I'm like, that's stupid. How can you choose to be authentic? Doesn't authenticity come natural? You know, isn't authenticity something that you just are? Like, how do you access that thing? I don't know if any of you feel like this, but seriously, I figured it out. And so I'm going to tell you how to be authentic. And you're like, okay, Tara, how are you going to tell me to be authentic? Authentic is something that I get to choose. That is so true. But I'm going to tell you where your authenticity lies. Okay, it doesn't lie in your, well, maybe, okay, you know what? I'm not even going to tell you where it doesn't lie, because for everybody it's different. For me, it didn't lie in my Instagram feeds. For me, it didn't lie in conversations that I was having with fake friends. Okay, let's just be serious. I finally got rid of my fake friends. And for me, my authenticity finally came out and is not going anywhere when I started to realize my resistance points. When I started to see where my fears in life were and what I felt was truly holding me back. So let me kind of put some other words out there, because I keep repeating, find your resistance points, find your resistance points. That's a theme in my videos. So for me, and I'll give you examples, my resistance points lied in what people thought of me, people judging me. And so my resistance, when I found that, I just had to push through that. Or as my business coach would say, you're just gonna have to get over that. And she's right. You know, all the things, find all the things and make a list of all the things that you need to get over yourself. And then make an action plan. How are you going to push through that? And get specific. Like, be very specific about what your resistance points were. One of my resistance points were, you know, when I was trying to make new friends. I've had this weird, I don't have it anymore, because I have so many beautiful new friends in my life, because my authentic self, I just keep getting new friends every day. Beautiful, beautiful friends. And my relationships from my past, of my friendships that from my childhood, just keep getting stronger and stronger, because I'm showing up as me. But there was a point that I was just like trying to make friends. It was so important. I would like pick these women and I'm like, I'm going to be friends with her. Oh, I want to be friends with her. I wonder if she's going to like me. And I started to kind of like create my personality around what I thought that they would like. So stupid. Don't do that if you're doing that. Just stop today. But anyway, so I found that I really had to just be okay with this, with me, with my body, with my mind, with my message, with my heart, with my kids, with what my kids wore, with what shoes I wore, with, you know, what kind of furniture I had in my house, what color paint I paint my walls. There was so many things that I cared about what other people thought, seriously, okay? And down to what color my flowers were in my garden. That's stupid, okay? So in those resistance points, I decided to get out of my own way and stop caring about what people thought about me, and that I needed other people's validation and I needed other people to think that I'm amazing. I have a lot of people who think I'm amazing, and I don't have to bribe them. I just have to show up. And so that was where I needed to push through. So if you're craving authenticity, if you're craving your real, true self, true blue, you don't have to show up any certain way. Your house doesn't have to look a certain way. You don't have to say a certain thing. Find out what is stopping you in your life, where you care too much, and push through it, and that's where you'll find yourself. And when Kid Carson, you know, said that on his radio show, I get it now. Because you do. You have to choose to break through your resistance. You have to. No one's going to tell you to do it. No one's going to give you permission to do it. And in fact, the voice inside your head is going to tell you not to. And so you're up against all these different resistance people, points, triggers, whatever you want to call them. You have to choose to push through your resistance. You have to choose to, no matter what, access it every day. What is scaring me? What is holding me back? What are these things? And get conscious, you guys. Conscious, you guys. Get conscious. Hear it. Get in your mind. Listen to your mind. What is your mind telling you? Your mind doesn't want you to be authentic, because guess what? When you are authentic, when you are like I am right now, too much great stuff happens. Too much great stuff happens. And self-sabotage, that guy that sits over here, he goes, no, don't get strong, don't get bright, don't get better, don't get bigger, don't be big, don't inspire. You could also call that, the enemy, okay? When we find our authentic self, that's when we find our bright light, that's when we find our glow, and that is where we find our ability to serve others with our message. So, okay, I think you get it. I love you. Push through your resistance so you can stop feeling anxious about who you are, what you mean to the world, what impact you're going to make, because no matter what, your only job is to show up, push through the resistance, and everything else comes to you. I love you. Have a grateful day.